And we are back. And so I've had an opportunity to be traveling with this new suitcase. It's called a Sparrow that came to me to sample from ecbc luggage because I've been having some issues with security, with the TSA. It seems that they're constantly checking my palms and patting me down, and I'm always on the wrong line, and it just seems to take forever, and I was losing my patience, and I stumbled upon this product, and I said, somebody who's doing something to make my life a little bit easier, it's worth finding out a little bit more about. And as I found out more about it, I was truly pleasantly surprised of the quality of the product as well as the ease of fitting all my stuff in there and it coming out unwrinkled and getting through TSA a little bit quicker. It's been a pleasant experience for me. So I wanted to share it with everybody else as well and to find out just a little bit more about the ecbc luggage line and how it can make your life easier. Of course, nobody better than to talk to the president of ecbc luggage, and that would be Jean-Luc Annet. Jean-Luc, are you with us?
Yes. Hello, Dan. How are you?
I am fine. And how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well,
we are in Southern California, so you are evening, we are still afternoon, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. I do get to go out to Southern California every once in a while. I love it out there, although I do get confused as to what time it is. Especially, I do a morning radio show that airs just a shorter report at 7:50 a.m., so waking up to do it at 4:50 a.m. when I'm out on the West Coast is no picnic. Trust me.
I understand that.
But it is a lovely place out there, California. Great weather and great places to travel as well. But so I understand that from your own life and your own experience that you've done a lot of traveling, and just like myself, you were a little bit frustrated with some of the hassles and whatnot, and you set out to do something about it. So why don't you just give us a little bit of a background of how your company got started and how you came to come out with this product line that's so helpful to travelers?
I would be glad to. ecbc was started about 4 years ago, and ecbc stands for Evolved Cases and Bags of California. And you said it yourself when you started the introduction. It was basically started for convenience. We own an import business. I've traveled internationally and domestically for the last 15 years. And over the last, few years, especially since 9/11, the way people travel has changed drastically. Not just on a security level, if you go through TSA checkpoint, but also the airline restriction. What we could do a few years ago, we can no longer do. And every time you go to the airport, you see people having multiple bins and putting their laptop and their iPad in one and all their personal property in another, and it takes forever to go through. But also, you basically get stuff all over the place. It's not a convenient process. It is not a fun experience. And based on the import business, we have a lot of contacts in different places of the world, and we wanted to create a product that would really bring convenience to a traveler. So we designed it, and I know you travel with a Sparrow, which is actually our most popular product, but I would call it the all-in-one product. This is a bag that we try to tackle multiple issues with a single bag and bring solution to those issues. And for example, you talk about the TSA process. We have on this bag, we have created what we call a TSA-friendly pocket, which is a FastPass, where you do not have to take out your computer or your laptop or your iPad. All you have to do is basically open the bag and leave it in there. You unzip the pocket, it goes flat, and you go through the TSA process without having to have an extra bin for your laptop or iPad. We also incorporated a garment section into the bag, so you can have a couple of shirts, 2-3 shirts, that are unwrinkled when you get to a destination. It is a bag where, if you purchase an ecbc Sparrow bag, it comes with a portable charger for an iPad or iPhone. And that also is something that we wanted to include in the bag, because if you look at the number of people, when you travel, your iPhone get low, your iPad get low. Just a few years ago, I was at the Phoenix airport, and there were, 20 people sitting on the ground, people in suits trying to recharge their iPhone or their iPad. So we incorporated in a battery with the bag, And the entire idea is to deliver a quality product to a customer, but to make your life easier. That's really the entire goal of this bag.
Yeah, I mean, what you just said about charging, sometimes you can't even get an outlet to plug in at the airport. They're all taken, so you're just out of luck. And I have to, right now I happen to have a newer phone, so my battery isn't as big an issue, but obviously I just replaced an older phone that was always needing a charge. So that would have come in just, perfect. And I found that I could fit easily about a 3-day trip into that carry-on. My Sparrow with all of my other stuff. And, there are so many other little compartments and little features in there that are just really cool, too. The way that the name tag kind of disappears and, the padded areas to put your little, tchotchkes and phone and whatever. Why don't you just talk about all the little things that are there for the stuff that you just don't think about that we wouldn't have thought about?
Well, if you look at strictly manufacturing costs, the best way to take cost out of a product is to remove functionality. You basically take pockets out, and you take out all these little extra. By doing that, you basically reduce your cost, and that's why so many bags in the marketplace are inexpensive, but also not very functional. We wanted to do the exact opposite. So what we did, we basically tried to look at all the things that somebody would need when they travel. We talked about the iPad, the portable laptop, the TSA friendly, but also we included a compartment for your passport or your plane tickets. We have you mentioned a retractable ID tag. If something happens to your bag, it's right there. We have multiple pockets inside for different items. We have a pass-through for your phone, for example, so you can listen to music, and having your phone charging into your bag. So all those different functionality were added to the bag, so you literally have everything you need in a single bag.
Yeah, no, it's very, very cool, and I certainly enjoy traveling with it. Now, I'm also, though, the kind of guy that I travel with a backpack in addition because, I mentioned earlier in the show I flew on Southwest, so they're very nice. They don't charge to check your bags, but one way or another, I usually have a carry-on and a backpack. And my backpack I've had for about 12 years. It finally started to fall apart. So it's durable, but it's old. It's not high-tech. It's an OGO backpack. And it's quite fine. But you have a line of backpacks that also have many of these features built in for folks who perhaps are traveling with just a backpack and not carrying their carry-on, and they have their technology and whatnot too, correct?
That's correct, yes. We have a full line of products, and what you said earlier is accurate. The Sparrow bag is ideal for somebody who would take a 1 to 5 day trip. That's a perfect bag for that person. But we also have backpacks that come with the same feature of a FastPass compartment where you can basically just open your backpack when you go through TSA, or even if you travel around town. There's a lot of products out there that are not very well secured. They're thin material. They don't protect your products very well. The material that we use is prime quality, is excellent quality. We use the best component, the best material, and it's just not me talking. Just read the review about our product out there. And it's really a quality bag that will protect your expensive equipment, but also is extremely functional.
Now, in addition to backpacks and carry-on type or garment bags, you do have some other things too, like duffel bags and other products within the line too?
Yes, we focus mainly on portable items like backpack, messenger bags, carry-on. We have a couple of larger duffel bags, but those obviously you have to check those bags. They do not come with a TSA feature since you cannot go through the TSA line with it.
Right, but still the durability.
Line. So we have something for everybody.
Yeah, and another, I was looking at your website, and I actually could be a good customer for you. I was just thinking for this year, I was just getting some prices on backpacks because I travel with mine and I like it so much for my other job, for my customers for Christmas. And I noticed that you do embroider with like corporate logos and stuff if somebody is looking for gifts for their favorite customers or something like that. So why don't you talk a little bit about that for folks that need special gifts?
Yes, a couple of things. We are also involved. You talked before I got on your show. You were talking about this company that does a lot of donations for the troops, all this, which I think it is absolutely wonderful. And We do a couple of things. We support a couple of organizations here in Southern California, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We also support the Boys and Girls Club. But we also customize bag as needed. In other words, we have companies that come to us and ask if they can include their logo on the bag for their customers, for their employees, and we can do all that, absolutely.
Right, or down here in Florida, or I was going to say Florida or California, the golf tournaments perhaps it might be a good gift for as well, huh?
Absolutely, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. You could go ahead, Jean-Luc.
No, I was simply saying that not all bag can be customized because of the equipment it needs, to do the embroidery, but we have several items that are perfect for that.
Now, also, of course, this time of year, we're starting to get close to Mother's Day, Father's Day, a good product for gift giving, perhaps?
Absolutely. I mean, every year people wonder, what should I get to my dad, my mom, and we always go back to the same few things. Well, a quality bag is always something welcome and appreciated.
And, you had mentioned durability and that the fact that for the most part these, people do carry on. I happened to check mine this time because I did bring a lot of stuff. I packed it pretty full. It was heavy and I had some other things to carry and I didn't have to pay because it was Southwest. How do you look at the baggage handling problem and how they handle stuff and what kind of reports as far as longevity, have you tested the product, like I guess the old commercial years and years ago from Samsonite where they actually showed a gorilla throwing a suitcase around, comparing it to the way that the baggage handlers handle your suitcase. How do you know how well your product is going to be, hold up when the baggage handlers get a hold of it?
Well, we are 4-year-old company, so I could not give you the OGIO bag, even though it's a competitor, and say, hey, I've had it for 10 years. Nevertheless, so far we have great feedback from our customers. I'm not going to bore you with the specifications and materials, but we use the best material we can find. We buy the best components. We buy the best ballistic nylon. If you look at material, for example, you can look at a spec from one country and a spec from another country. It's the same spec, but the material is different. We buy material in Korea. We buy most of our components in Taiwan. And this is where the best components come from. This is where they are manufactured. So we truly spend time to make sure that we use quality component, quality product, so a bag can last several years and can handle the beating that they will take when you go through customs and when you go through one city to another, and then the baggage handler take care of your bag.
Now, obviously, as I mentioned, with the holidays coming up, or if anybody does want to purchase some of these for their events and whatnot, the best way to find out more information about your product line, learn about it, and maybe purchase it, how would people go about doing that?
There's a couple of ways. There's obviously our website, which is ec-bc.com, ec-bc.com. And if you go to a website and you will have to talk to somebody, we are a small company, we have a good customer service team, and we'd be glad to talk to you.
Well, like I say, I went to your website. It was very informative. I learned a lot about the product and the company, and it was very easy to understand. And I learned a lot about my life and myself, I think, prior to becoming acquainted with you. So I want to thank you for that. And I also want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing your expertise because, let's face it, people travel and you need luggage. And if you have bad luggage, you're just not going to be as happy.
My pleasure, Dan, and thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Jean-Luc. All right, Jean-Luc Annet from ecbc Luggage, and thank you so much. What we're going to do is we're going to take one final break, and then I got a couple of travel deals that you don't want to miss. So stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show.